You're now tuning in to episode number 3 of the Humans and AI podcast. I'm really excited about today's episode because we've got Jose Puga joining us, the co-founder and CEO of Imaginario.ai. Jose, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alex.
Jose, when was the moment that you first realized that AI was going to be a massive disruptor? And more importantly, when did you realize that it was going to be a big part of your life?
So the first time I encountered AI applied to video and to content in general was when I was a business development director at Warner Media at the time, now called Warner Brothers Discovery. Um, and I came across a company called Synthesia. This was 2017. And back then I was a lot into VR and AR, heading all business development operations for Warner in the UK. And it really shocked me that from a text description or a text prompt, you could make an avatar, a customizable avatar, say whatever you want. Of course, they were like quite early in their journey, but now everybody knows Synthesia, right? So that was the first time I encountered AI, and I thought this is a really interesting technology. We should have a look into it. Um, and then the second part of your question, when I thought it was going to be a big part of my life, was when I joined an accelerator called Entrepreneur First, where they essentially match technical and business people, so industry experts, to create startups. So I was in Berlin. I went to Berlin for 4 months. And during those 4 months, I encountered like incredible people, PhDs specialized in robotics, in video AI, multimodality, and the list goes on. And it was a steep learning curve for me. Like I realized that what was coming our way in terms of not just video and image generation, but also 3D generation and overall the creation of content was going to change radically many industries. So that's kind of like when I realized that I would definitely wanted to build a company in this space, and I was not going to spend the rest of my life in a corporate job. That I learned a lot of things, but I wanted to do my own thing and of course apply AI and be part of this revolution that we are experiencing. Everyone as a single race. I think this is quite a pivotal time, not just for AI, but for humanity in general.
I could not agree more, and that's part of the reason we chose the name Humans and AI. It's going to disrupt everything, right? I mean, in terms of just human beings being on planet Earth. It's not just one industry, it's not just one topic, it's not just one job. It's going to impact pretty much everything. So what's it been like? I'm curious. You kind of got into it 2017. You were talking about, as you look back 2017 to where we're at today with AI in general. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so my thoughts are that essentially, well, there are different angles. It's a very, very open question, but the goal is to get to artificial general intelligence, right? So AGI. And what's AGI? It's essentially a term that is used to describe a future in which machines can match and then even exceed the cognitive abilities of most human beings, right? And not just
So
as an average human, but across different disciplines. And I think we're getting closer to that goal. However, there's still a lot of things to happen yet at an industry level, political level, society level, cultural level. But yeah, we can talk more about that.
So Jose, you said AGI versus
AGI.
AI. Break down that really simply for the audience, because a lot of us are just learning along the way. What is
Yeah,
AGI versus AI, and then why is the goal to get to AGI?
yeah. So AI is essentially a discipline in which you're just trying to make machines intelligent, right, and give them cognitive abilities. And within this discipline, of course, you have deep learning, you have machine learning, and different areas within machine learning that are attempting to mimic the activity in terms of layers of neurons in the brain to learn how to recognize, for instance, patterns in data, how to forecast different outcomes. So therefore, improving decision making, improving content production, personalization in the space of generative AI. And when it comes to AGI, this is essentially the utopia for many researchers of having a single model or few AI models that can effectively do any sort of task that they're asked to do, from content generation to be an expert uh, in medicine, or to the same assistant will be able to plan your next holidays. So essentially, it's a general intelligence
Okay.
that can do many valuable tasks across different industries and roles.
So let's pivot to video, a topic that I'm very interested in, and a topic that a lot of the listeners and audiences are interested in: social media, content creation. What's the state of the state with what AI can do with video or text to video? Give us the where we at today, and then I'd be curious to see where you think we're going to be 6 months, 12 months, a couple years down the line.
Yes. So first, I did mention three models. So these are diffusion models for video generation that have been released by Meta and Google, I believe, last year. Make a
And what is
video by
that?
Meta. Sorry,
And what does that do?
that's this text to video generation. So this is generation or alteration of video. So you have Make a Video by Meta, Imagen Video by Google, and then Fenaki. There was another model released by Google, and this allows you to even alter an original prompt to alter specific elements within the video. So let's say if you have a dog and the dog, I don't know, it's swimming, then you might be able to make that same dog do something else or replace the water with some other element. So so now these models are it's quite early stage. They still suffer of if you see most of the efforts out there, they're still not they lack consistency, because as you know, video it's 30 to, well, let's say 20 something to 60 frames per second, and every single frame, if you're using for instance text to image models, this will create inconsistency in the different sequences and scenes. However, this is what these models are trying to achieve, which is more consistency across different frames and then across different scenes. So it requires a lot of computing power as well, which is good to know. This is probably not something that is part of general knowledge to everybody, but to generate a video, if it's taking you, let's say, 10 minutes to generate or 5 minutes to generate an image on Mid Journey or some other platform, to generate a video at 30 to 60 frames per second, let's say if you want to do 4K and you have 2 minutes, you can do the maths, right? That's going to
Yeah.
take you a long time, probably even hours.
Yes. Yes.
So, and then the cost associated to that impacts unit economics, which means that impacts the any sort of pricing. That if, let's say it's a company, if companies tomorrow want to offer this as a cheap alternative to stock footage, or to just recording something with your phone or your own webcam, I don't think we're there yet. So the unit economics need to improve in terms of computing, in terms of cloud computing. I'm talking about, of course. So
Okay.
so yeah. So I'm
So
not sure
what?
if that helps a bit. And then also in
Yeah.
video generation, text to video generation, I think where the first advances are going to be is in modifying, so altering existing footage. We have seen, for example, Runway ML. Not sure if you've come across this company, but
Yep.
they've been relying a ton on open source models and, of course, fine tuning them to different, training them for different use cases. And they have recently released, I think it's called Gen 1. Gen 1 allows you to essentially mask or change the look and feel or the style of an entire video. And this is extremely difficult to do. We've actually been experimenting with that in our own company. So my co-founder is a PhD in deep learning as well, and it's extremely difficult to do. But that's one use case. Then of course
What
you
do you
have.
mean change? Can you explain what you mean by that? Like change the look and feel of the video?
So let's say that you are recording, I don't know, something in your house, right? Like you're recording your cat playing around with a little, little ball,
Yeah.
and you want to turn your cat into a dragon, right? Or you want to turn your cat from a live action shot, right, a real shot, into an animation, and a certain
Okay.
type of animation. Let's say
Okay.
Minecraft style, right? So you want to turn your cat into a Minecraft cat. That's tough, and it's not because you cannot do it at an image level. You can do it at an image level, because text to image is quite advanced.
Mm-hmm.
But text to video, that will require many frames per second. So and again, that's quite tough to do.
Okay.
However, you can modify the style. You could also get rid of the background. You've seen these use cases probably. So the green screen
Yeah.
effect,
Yeah.
and then rotoscoping as well, and the
Yes.
list goes on, right?
Well,
So
there's a
altering
few
is gonna
things.
come first. It's coming first, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, the kind of like mind-blowing moment for me in our business with video production, post-production, video editing was we had tasks in video editing, in the video editing process that
Yeah.
were taking an hour and a half. And then through AI, all of a sudden, we're taking a minute, a couple minutes. And that was when I knew like AI is serious and it's going to disrupt a lot of things. That was the moment for me. But so let me ask a couple quick questions here then, just following up on the video, because again, video is really interesting for us and the audience. So you're telling me right now, how close are we to, or is there something out there now where I can just like, I think people think it's gonna be cool when like you got a script of something you want to say, and then you just type it in something and it gives you a video back. And I know I've seen the AI models now, but it's not very good. Like, where are we at with that?
I think the key challenge here is it's like it depends what type of video you want to create, and you would know this because you're a video creator yourself, right? I come from media as well, so my background is in media and entertainment. So I do appreciate storytelling.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you could potentially ask ChatGPT to create a story based on X parameters, but then you need to define the characters. You need to define the artwork. You need to um, deal with many different elements that, of course, most the average person doesn't see. What all these things that come in pre-production, right? Before you even start shooting a scene. Um, and that's still going to be difficult for the AI to do based on a single sentence. Right?
right.
These are different parameters that requires a treatment. Require first a synopsis. You need a treatment. You need a script. You need to define your characters. You need to then have a very clear idea about the artwork. You need to define so many different things. Then the editing style as well that I doubt that from a single text prompt, this is going to be Hollywood is going to be replaced and completely disrupted. I doubt it. Now, is this helping the entry level creator create higher quality content and faster? Yes. Is this helping accelerate video workflows? By all means. Rotoscoping before could easily take you what 3 5 days, or depending on the content and the complexity. Search as well, like just searching for different scenes inside your catalog can take you days, right? Um, However, with AI now, this is becoming much faster, and yeah, there's definitely an acceleration in video workflows. But I don't think a replacement necessarily of creatives. It's just that I think creatives are going to become more like art directors or creative directors that just orchestrate the and guide the different AIs and their own teams to
Yes.
create higher quality output and faster, right?
That's such a
Um,
great point, Jose. That's how I
yeah,
see it too. Is
yeah,
like some of the most high value skill sets are going to be this: how do you put the story together, and the creativity, and the execution of it, and then using these tools to just speed up the job, the tasks that you were mundane and maybe took a long time before, and now they're instead of a couple of hours, it's taken 1 minute, and so it allows you to create that movie faster. But you still need the human involved. Let me ask you this, because this is a question I've been curious about. So selfishly, I'm going to ask a couple questions here. You've seen our videos, right? They're really creative. They're edited really nicely. They've got animations that pop up. We kind of like help the creator in the videos tell their story and bring the message to life through the creative editing. How far away do you think we are, or if there's something now, let me know, but I don't think there is. How far away before I can take a raw video and I can just put it in a system and it comes back completely edited for me? Now I know we got Descript right now that does some AI and stuff, and you can do the rotoscoping or the green screen removing of backgrounds. You can do the auto captions. You can do some of this stuff now. But how far away are we where we can just dump a raw 1 minute raw video? I record the video, it's 1 minute long. I dump it into software and it comes back auto captions. It has animations that pop up based on what I say. If I say I was going for a walk yesterday outside, it puts me outside all of a sudden. How far away are we from something like that?
I would say we're probably well. First of all, let's clarify. I don't believe in a fully automated solution, and that's. But we can have a separate conversation about that. But this
Okay.
regards to, let's say, you get personalized recommendations that will be very close to what you need, and then might need a few tweaks here and there. I think
Right.
we are no more than 2 3 years, 2 years away from that. 2 3 years away from that.
That's what I was
Um,
guessing too. But you
yeah,
could say, hey, and maybe you could feed it a couple other videos so it got an idea. But then again, to your point, it's going to come back and you're going to have to do a quality check. It may throw something in there that's like way off balance, way off the beaten path, or it's not aligned with
yeah.
your brand, or it doesn't fit the story. That you have to say, hey, just cancel that out. These are great. Let's leave those in. Remove that, or tweak this, or let's keep this in. To your point earlier, you're still going to need the human is more of the creative director, right? The content director.
Indeed, I think even if it sounds quite Web 2.0, but I think we're gonna still rely a lot on templates and just branding guidelines. So you need to define your color palette. You need to upload your logo. You might have, a certain background and certain things that you want to, and of course, variances, different variations of that. Certain type of font that you want for your captions, or
Yep.
style animated captions, auto captions, and then based on all of those parameters, you can automate the source of the content, like a bit like Zapier, right? Does with APIs and talking to different platforms, and then you define the output. Do you want that on TikTok? Do you want that on Facebook? So
Mm-hmm.
depends on the level of customization again, and it depends if it's short form content, which I personally define as anything below 2 minutes long, or if the type of content you produce is more long form, right? You're talking about a TV show or a documentary, even if it's done with a low budget. You're talking about content more than 5 10 minutes long, then that's a different kind of format, right? So you need to
How
break
do
it
you?
down. I don't think we're at that stage where AI is going to be able to create long form content like a professional production company does, right?
Right. Right.
But
How do you
but short
see?
form, short content, of course, that's going to be easier to be achieved by AI, and it's going to start with recommendations. Now, when it becomes a bit scary is when it starts learning from you. So the models can learn from you, actively learn from you, and then provide more and more personalized recommendations to a point that you might not need to tweak anything, right, from those recommendations. Um,
Jose,
and this
really
is,
quickly,
yeah,
because I want to get to the I want to get to your company, Imaginario.io or
yeah.
.ai. I want to get some questions on that. How does the role of a video editor change over the next couple of years? If you're working with a video editor now, maybe you are a video editor or you've hired somebody, freelance agency, whatever it is. How does the role of a video editor, what we knew it to be the last few years, how does that role change? You think the next couple of years?
That's a good question. First, I'm not a professional video editor. I can just give you my own views on this. I
Mm-hmm.
think video editors are still going to be very relevant for many years. However, more so for professional grade content. So I'm talking about content that it's again long format, or that requires more sophisticated styles, editing styles. But for really short content, I do think that this is the first sort of if you are an editor and you're focused just on just short form content, and you're not very sophisticated in your styles, you're just like a cookie cutter, then you should be
Done.
worried. You should be
Yes,
worried. Yeah.
absolutely. I think that
But if
job
you're an
is on
artist,
its way
you're an
up.
artist, and you do care about the output, and you really know your craft, um, then and you're differentiating in the market, then that's a different story. It's like, so if I have to give you an example, in animation, there's been like a ton of companies in the last 3 5 even more years saying that, oh, we can automate your video explainers with animation. The
Yeah.
reality is that you end up with templates that are, insipid, that are really not engaging at all. You cannot compare that with a professional animator, right? That probably, yeah,
Right.
it's going to charge you more money, but at the end of the day, they're going to do an amazing job, and that's what we've done with our company. We don't regret a bit. We would have never taken
I
one
love
of
that.
those automated solutions with animation. The same
Right.
applies to editors, but they do need to show their craft. If you are doing this part time and you're not really serious about editing and doing something cool with AI, and I would encourage them, by the way, to use AI to improve their styles, to
Yes.
experiment more, to be more creative, then you have a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jose, tell us a little bit about why would a company or a creator or anybody use Imaginario.ai? AI, your company, why would somebody use the services? What does it look like?
Yeah. So
Simplistic version.
what we do is that we can find absolutely anything inside your videos, and we do this by understanding the context inside a video. Because there are a few companies out there that say, yeah, we can identify objects, people, actions. Yeah, fine, but they don't understand context. What do I mean by context? So if I were to ask you, Alex, give me a summary of your day, and you just tell me what you did in 1 second or in 1 minute, that's not a proper summary of your day, correct? You need to understand the context throughout your day and then tell me a story about that. And that's exactly what we do. So we make all of this, any kind of video searchable without time based metadata or manual tags. And then on the other hand, we're pairing this up with what is called a no code platform. What do we mean by no code? Essentially, you have templates, and then you can create any kind of internal or external facing search and discovery experiences. So let's say you're a creator and you want to create your own, search and discovery engine for your fans. So you can put it on your app or your website.
Mm.
You can do that, and you can let them curate their own content, create their own collections, or you can create an internal tool. So, for example, there are some large media companies that are our clients, and they're using this to repurpose and recut different moments. So find and recut moments in feature films as well as TV shows for marketing. Or you can use it for compliance. Let's say you need to find nudity or drug abuse, and you're an authority in charge of monitoring that, right? In a specific market, you can also do that. So it depends on the use case. We're focused on video heavy industries, and we are a horizontal solution, which means that we can, first of all, make any video searchable, and then you can create any tool you want in searching them.
So So I've got, for example, all my video archive. It's automated. It's on Trello, but then the actual videos sit in a G Drive folder.
Yeah.
Would I use your software to help me locate things in there, or I need to get all my videos on a platform like yours to then be able to search and pick out, like, hey, pick out a video that has me outside talking about LinkedIn versus TikTok or something like that?
Yeah, so we integrate with different content sources, including Google Drive. And once you've linked your Google Drive to Imaginario, we need to process your videos, but the videos can sit with you. So there's no need for the
Nice.
videos to be hosted by us. So what we do is that we create an index that, again, doesn't rely on tags or none of that. And then with that index, we can go and pull those videos from your original hosting platform, which could be Google
Beautiful.
Drive, could be a digital asset management system, whatever you're using, right? Um, and we believe that, in general, Alex, the problem that we're solving is that it's twofold. On one hand, as I said, it's very expensive and cumbersome engineering wise to build and train search and discovery solutions in video. So even though everybody's recording a mountain of video and there are tons of editing tools, nobody's really addressing the bottleneck, the time suck
So true.
in search and managing just your video files, looking inside those videos and understanding what's inside of them.
What's something that most people don't know about AI that they should?
Yeah, I would say that AI, first, I think there's a misconception that AI is going to, um, replace human beings across humans across different tasks and roles. The reality is that, if anything, like the Industrial Revolution proved, it's going to create new jobs, and it's going to make people more creative, so they can essentially then focus on what they love, right? So having more time for the work that they love, it's going to enable them to make more informed decisions and discover new solutions. Um, so I just think that sometimes journalists, and I used to be a journalist, so I'm doing I'm also part of the back of the same category here. Tend to be a bit over dramatic in terms of the negative consequences of these models. The reality is
Yeah.
that it's going to make us more creative, more productive, and much better at our jobs. But we need to embrace it. Of course, keeping an
Yes.
eye on bias, keeping an eye on fake news, and all of those sort of negative consequences and things that are being addressed by OpenAI and other major labs and tech companies. So
Does AI scare you a little bit?
No, not at all. I think if at some point you give consciousness to AI and willpower or some kind or ambition, then that's a different story. But as long as it's in under our control, it's fine. And also in terms of robotics, it's not there yet. So I wouldn't think the Terminator is going to be hunting you anytime soon.
The
That's not going to
Terminator's
happen.
coming. The
No,
Terminator is coming. I'm
no,
kidding. I'm
it's not
just kidding.
coming. It's not coming yet.
That's funny, man. So, Jose, I appreciate you being on the show. This was amazingly insightful, seriously, especially from a video standpoint.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, get a hold of you, work with you?
So they can find us on. You just need to go to imaginario.ai. So that's imaginario.ai, and you can sign up for our beta that we're actually releasing in a couple of weeks. So you're gonna be able to sign up for free, try the platform. We can find all the best topics, all moments inside videos, be it visual moments or spoken moments, and just try it out. And we're just looking for feedback. And then, of course, if then you want to adopt this for your team and your agency or whatever your task is, then happy to have a chat as well.
Thank you so much, Jose. I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, if you haven't hit the subscribe button or the follow button, please do now, because every week we're dropping amazing episodes that are going to help you navigate through this new world with AI.